coming back. This video is going to be entitled Our Secret Milky Way, and I want to get into a little bit about Cern. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Sun being a stargate, which it is a stargate, G2 star, and basically the magnetic field that that's the strong vortices, that's the portal, magnetic portal that actually the Sun is creating around Earth, and they open up all day. Every second one opens up. They don't last that long, but these electron diffusions are taking place and causing these disruptions. But what's happening more is that NASA knows about it, and they've created, bottom line I found out is they've created these sun simulators, but they're not sun simulators. We call them that, but they're actually stargates. The sun's too hot for anything to come through. They're just using it as a buffer. And I'll also get into Cern's Awake program, which is using, they stepped their game up. I talked about it in one of my other videos. They're basically using the linear accelerator and a circular. And they're getting a little bit more power out of this. They've got 1,000 more volts out of it, which is a lot. And basically how they're able to separate the nuclear force that bonds crystal together, they absolutely break it up. What that means is when they do that, they can open up different gateways and portals, folks. That's just the bottom line what the fuck's happening. They're opening them up. And there's many of these stargates out in space and stuff, and you're getting fourth, fifth dimensional beings that are coming through. And they're not going through the sun. The sun is basically, a big furnace. But, we all know that Cern and everything basically with the Awake program they've been doing, they're just basically sending protons through what they call a hydrogen chamber. The hydrogen chamber just passes the hydrogen through the linear accelerator at the speed of light. But they've upped the game again. They went to the circular. Got more power now. Bottom line is this, folks. They are opening them and they're coming through. And they're affecting different timelines in our space-time continuum we're living in. So you will see things coming through that you wouldn't normally be able to see. The Stargates in space, Boeing put together this sun simulator, but the sun simulator is more than a sun simulator. It actually is a Stargate in space, and there's several of them. I didn't find this out on the internet. I found out talking to somebody. Got to talk to people in person, not on the internet. And what they told me was there's these artificial gateways that are out in space right now that they've been using, and it doesn't just bring in. They don't last terribly long, but NASA has been able to capitalize on and make them last longer. These portals will last for hours artificially in space. They're huge, huge, huge solar collectors. And we all know the sun, nothing more than a conversion of hydrogen to helium. But the power conversion ratio, they've upped it. So the helium that they're getting from the sun and everything, the conversion is even higher. They stepped it up, he says. So you're getting more power. Just like Cern is up their game a little bit more, they got more power for things can come in. Okay. Lately, I've been affected physically and mentally by these damn hums that have been coming in, and I do believe it has something to do with space. It's not local. I localized it, not coming from cell towers, coming from outer space. And I am into binary beats. I use that for astral projecting, and astral projecting is not lucid dreaming or anything. I actually go into different dimensions. When I astral project, I can go into the fourth and fifth dimensions, and I've been able to do it. It's difficult to do, but I found out how to do it, and I've been doing it for a while. And I have seen things come through. And can you affect the third dimension through the astral plane? You can do it. You can connect to other things that are out there if you know what you're doing. And it's mystical. I mean, I'll get into that in another chapter, what's going on with that, but you can definitely astral project. I want to also talk a little bit about our Earth's consciousness is being lowered by Saturn through the moon, and we all know how it affects the Schumann resonance and stuff, but it's going farther than just affecting the life forces that make us up. And our life forces that make us up are more than just the 7.83 Schumann frequency. They actually are doing some manipulation other than that through the stargates that they're doing, and they're actually These stargates, NASA's been studying them a long time ago. They've sent probes to studying the magnetosphere and everything, but they've gone farther with these probes. And some of the stuff you're seeing in the sun are the probes, that NASA's own probes you're seeing. But you're seeing, if you look out in space, these are not probes. The things that are coming through are not probes. Huge-ass spaceships, man. And, you know, the SOHO has picked up stuff. You can see some of the deep space radar has picked up stuff. If you look at the systems that are out there in space, the Radio Arecibo has picked up all kinds of stuff. But we have stuff coming in, folks. This is the bet your bottom fucking dollar they're coming through. And also Jupiter also has a spaceport. They have a space station that orbits Jupiter for trade, and it's basically a trading post and a defense post. And it orbits Jupiter and stuff. It's just basically a galactic space station orbits Jupiter. That's all I can really say. I mean, I've gone into just talking to people that I know about it. But anyway, the world is not what we think it is, folks. And you can see, like I said, to find out that the sun is being used for that application. And like I said, the solar simulators, this one has 20 applications. I'll get into it more of what other stuff that it's doing. But the sun is just amazing what they're doing. They're capitalizing on the sun, our nuclear furnace that keeps us going, but it's also keeping other things going. Without the sun, we have nothing. It's just amazing. And I'll get into it in another video about a little bit more about the moon. I talked a little bit about the moon and what's going on there and stuff. But these are huge, huge platforms in space, and some of them are docking stations as well. They're these fucking things can cloak, they can dematerialize, they can control the atoms at will, just like some of the shit at Cern. Some of the beings at Cern are not even human. They can do all kinds of fucking things that you would not even believe unless you saw these things and how they can control the atoms at will and stuff. And if you learn how to do it, we can do it. We just have not been able to open up those the DNA on our body is just not, we're limited to how many strands we can use. But if we open them up, we could do what they're doing. We're just a descendant of them, and of a galactic world that's out there. And the galactic world that's out there is huge, folks. And, you know, I mean, it's amazing, our galactic neighbors. You know, the Tau Ceti system, and I went into some of the stuff that's going on in the Taurus constellation, the stars. There's a lot going out there. But you don't have to go into different galaxies to look for life. The Milky Way has got interplanetary beings. They're just like us and a little different in the Milky Way itself. And you don't have to go look out in space. And, you know, one of the Mans was one of the planets that was destroyed by the hydro-reptilians back a while ago back. It was destroyed, and it basically was destroyed for how many millions of years ago. It was basically, they hit it. It was called Mans, and, you know, a lot of stuff going on. But I want to sign out, folks. Hope the video is somewhat good. I'll do a chapter 2 on some of the astral projecting stuff that I've come up with doing my binary beats and able to contact. And not just so much contact, it's a mystical world, the astral plane, if you learn how to harness it and use it. I'm going to sign out. Enjoy the evening. Peace, folks.